Hello there, welcome to today's lesson. So today we shall be learning about some cyclic events like day and night, a wet and then dry season, and then their periods, and also some importance of these cyclic events. So in basic 2, we learned how some events in our environment keep repeating itself like a merry-go-round, and day and night. So the day always follows the night, and the night always follows the day. It is a natural cyclic event. There are some things people do periodically and at specific intervals. For example, going to school or church. Even the Independence Day celebration is an event that occurs every year. We celebrate Christmas once every year. These events occur on the same date of every year. They are cyclic events. So day and night is one example of the cyclic event. So day and night is a natural event that occurs and reoccurs in specific period within the day. So during the daytime, the environment is very bright and you can see everything without the help of artificial light. And then during the night, the environment is very dark and you cannot see things, let's say, clearly without the use of artificial light. Some people work at night, others also work during the day. Alright, let's take a look at another cyclic event, which is the wet and then the dry season. So there are some periods of the year that show special climatic condition known as season. So in Ghana, the wet and dry seasons are the main seasons. Dry and wet seasons are cyclic events. So when we take a look at the wet season is the period of the year in which heavy rainfalls occur. During this season, it rains a lot. And also the wet season is also known as the rainy season. So during this season, the soil becomes soaked with water and the leaves of many plants look very green. Farmers grow crops due to enough rainfall. And then wet season occurs every year. It is a cyclic event. It follows after the dry season. Now let's take a look at the dry season. So the dry season is the period of the year in which there is low or no rainfall. Dry season is also known as harmattan. During this season, the soil becomes dry, leaves of many plants turn brown and begin to wither, and others also shed their leaves in order to survive. The atmosphere becomes dusty. We usually experience bushfires in the dry season. The dry season also occurs every year. It is a cyclic event. It also follows after the wet season. So now let's take a look at some importance of the wet and then the dry season. So it guides farmers on the time to start clearing their farms or their farmland. It also guides farmers when to start planting or sowing their seeds or planting their crops. It also tells a person when to do a particular activity or work. It also guides in planning of our day-to-day activities. And then it enables us to predict the weather. It also helps in the growth and development of plants and animals. And it also helps some animals and plants to reproduce. Now let's take a look at some importance of the day and then the night. So it tells us when to go to bed. Also, it tells us when to get out of bed. It also helps us to plan our activities. It helps us to know and remember our date of birth. It helps us to know when to go to school, church, and other things. So let's look at some activities that usually happen during the wet and then the dry season. So during the wet season, people usually perform the following activities. So people collect water when there is rainfall or when it rains. Children play or have fun in the raining water as well. People walk under umbrellas in the rain. People remove rubbish from choked gutters after raining. This is to ensure that it doesn't result in flooding. And also, farmers grow their crops because there is what enough rainfall for their crops to what flourish. And then during the dry season, people usually perform the following activities. So farmers dry their farm produce, that is their crops, just to preserve them. So they dry some of their crops or their farm produce in order to preserve them. So they can dry some crops like the maize or the cocoa in order to preserve them. People also dry their clothes outside, or people dry their clothes, or when we dry our clothes during this season or this period of time, they dry within the shortest time. And then also children have a lot of fun during this period because there is less rainfall, and as such they can have enough time to play or have fun a lot. And also farmers prepare their lands, so this is the time that the farmers will prepare their land and wait for the wet season so that they grow their crops. All right, so let's take a look at some activities that happens during the day and then the night. So during the day, people usually perform some of these activities. So during the day, people go to work, they go to market, going to school, and then other activities. There are a whole lot of activities that occur during the day. And also at night, kids or children do their homework. People watch TV, people sleep, others also go to work. So these are some activities that occurs during the day and the night. All right, so this is the end of this lesson.